Someone joined. Good evening. Good evening, sir. How are you? Rahu in Libra, first house. Career wise, relationship wise. Uh, Libra, first house, Rahu is there. Person is like supposed to do business. Mm, it is like first house is life path, Libra is sign of business, Rahu gravitates us towards the house where it is sitting. So this person will be gravitated towards working for self. Okay, that is his life path. Then Libra is sign of relationship and Ketu is falling into the seventh house. So relationship wise it is difficult chart. When Rahu is in the first house, person can be all about himself, and Ketu is in the seventh house, person can have lots of issues with partner and all. So relationship wise it is a difficult placement, but the career wise person should be in the business setup. Okay, it can also be like a creativity related business and all. uh, Can you please tell me when I will get promotion in job? I cannot give you consultation in this session. It is only conceptual things. Okay. If you want to know about a planetary placement, or if you want to know about some concepts of astrology, you can ask questions. These consultations take a long time. It is like for this question I need to analyze your chart for at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So that I cannot not do here. So I would suggest that if you are really concerned, then I would suggest that you should take proper consultation. And I'm not saying that take it from me, take it from any astrologer of your choice. Okay, but taking a proper consultation when you have some real issue going on is much better. Another thing with Libra ascendant chart is that if we look at a Libra ascendant chart, then it is totally upside down. What I mean to say is that, like, first house is natural Aries sign energy. Libra people have Libra sign there, the natural seventh sign. Seventh house has natural Libra energy. They have Aries sign there. That is first house energy. uh, Fourth house has Capricorn sign there, which is natural 10th house energy, and 10th house has Cancer sign there, which is natural fourth house energy. So their chart is upside down. uh, it is said that Libra is sign of balance, but as their chart is upside down, they have the most imbalanced life. They need to, like, it is their job to make it a balanced one. Does Ketu Mahadasha shows spiritual progress in sixth house for Leo ascendant? Okay, Ketu itself represents spirituality. So wherever it is placed, Okay, it doesn't matter it is in the 6th house or 12th house or 4th house, wherever it is placed. As Ketu is karaka of spirituality, person gets into spirituality during Ketu dasha, no matter where it is placed. The reasons can be different. Okay, like Ketu in the 6th house, person may have some losses due to like conflicts, litigation, or diseases, health issues, and daily work life. And because of those issues and those losses, he may become a spiritual person. Okay, so that is also one of the result. Plus Ketu represents occult also. So if person is like very much into occult field and all spiritual occult and mysticism, then also he can become a spiritual. But because like if you go deep down in occult, then sooner or later you realize that okay, I am not running the show, someone else is running the show. So in that scenario, you are bound to become spiritual. Okay. There was one more question about like Venus in Pisces. If Venus in Pisces is good for relationship, or what type of challenges can be there in relationship matter when Venus is in Pisces. As I said, like Venus is relationship, although Venus is exalted in Pisces, but Pisces is the sign of imagination. So what happens with Venus in Pisces people is that they get into relationship due to their imagination. Okay, they are not realistic about their relationship, they are not practical about their relation, they are just getting into relationship on some sort of imagination that things will work out, God will help, and all that comes into their mind in their relationship matter, and that's where they get into trouble. Okay, because sooner or later person needs to be realistic and practical in relationship matters. That's where they find the difficulty. Saturn in the 5th house, Libra ascendant, means it is in Aquarius. Aquarius is like moon trikon sign of Saturn. So but as Saturn is always difficult for anyone, uh, it may show that a person may have a very cold and dry love life, because 5th house is love and romance. Saturn has nothing to do with love and romance. Saturn is the furthest away from the sun, so it is a cold planet, so it gives a very cold love life to the person. Okay, in the 5th house, from because from 5th house it aspects all the relationship oriented houses: 7th, 11th, 2nd. Okay, so it shows that person is having a very troublesome relationship life. Okay, they can have long term relationship. Okay, because Saturn brings Saturn represents long duration. So when Saturn is in the 5th house, it is like a person has long relationship for long duration, and then it breaks. Okay, that's where the like suffering is high. Okay, understand, if I am just in relationship with someone for 3-4 months, and I break that relationship, there is not much suffering, right? But if I go into relationship for about 5 6 years and then it breaks, then suffering is more. So this is what happens with Saturn in the fifth house. Also, like Saturn in fifth house aspects 11th and second, as I said, they are also money oriented houses. So money for this person will again gradually grow. They may have to like start earning from very early in their life. Okay. That is also there. But in education and creativity matters, like this person has to like work hard and persevere, and then he gets the better results in later in life. Saturn always gives better results when we are in 30s and all. Before that, it is all about putting best effort. Good evening. Kanya Lagna, Mercury is in Pisces along with Ketu in the 7th house, Rahu in Lagna, but goes to 12th house in Chalit chart. Moon is in the 12th house, Leo, at 29 degree with Saturn at 0 degree. Rahu Mahadasha Dasha is starting soon. How will be this Dasha? First of all, I look at only D1 chart. I don't go into how Chalit chart, so I can tell only through D1 chart. For career matters, again Rahu is in the first house, Virgo. Virgo is the sign of analysis and details. Okay, so if this person is in any work related with analysis and details, where lots of analysis is needed, and if they work for themselves, first house is self, so that's where they can get the best results of Rahu Dasha. Okay, always understand that, and that's what I always say, that whenever we are in a particular Dasha, we have to get ourselves involved in the activity related with the planet and the house where the planet is sitting. Rahu in first house, Virgo, get into your own work which is related with analysis and details, and then that's where you will get the best result of this Dasha. Again, if you are not doing anything related with that, then average results can be there. Okay, then you cannot expect best of the results. Okay, so this is the main thing. Then Ketu is in the 7th house, difficult for relationship matters. Okay, this Dasha may be difficult because Rahu will keep you focused at self, first house, so relationship can be difficult. Also, like as Mercury is debilitated, Virgo Lord is debilitated, it shows that if you try to work in the job setup and all, it may be difficult because Mercury is first and 10th Lord. 10th house is the house of job setup. It is debilitated, so not much good results from working under others. That again means that you should work for yourself. It is good for your creative pursuits, Mercury in Pisces with Ketu, so it is good for that. But when it comes to like relationship and jobs and set up career, it will be difficult if you are there. So every planetary placement, as I said, they have their good and bad side. So this placement is giving you better results when you are working for yourself. Moon in Pisces in 5th house, Jupiter in 2nd house. Next Mahadasha, how will it be? Which planet's Dasha is there? Moon Dasha or Jupiter Dasha? Then just let me know which planet Dasha is there in this. Either Moon Dasha or Jupiter Dasha. Mars in Magha 10th house, Sun in Ardra in 8th house. Fine. As Mars is in good dignity, how will Sun Mahadasha, Sun Dasha and Antardasha act? Right. Mercury in 9th house, Sun Nakshatra Lord, Rahu in 1st house. How will Sun with Mars in Leo? Okay. So again, and this thing, sun dasha is coming. Sun is in your 8th house. First of all, it can bring some major changes in your career. 10th lord in the 8th house means your authority recognition is going through a major change. It also shows, as Gemini is sign of business, ideally you should get into your own business and serve people through your own business. Then you will get the best of the result of this dasha. If you are working in job setup, then career can be very unstable. Then this Rahu in the first house also shows the same thing. So this dasha can help you in career authority recognition if you are in business setup work again and serving people through your own business. But if you try to work under others authority, then it can be difficult. Career wise, like sun represents ego and 8th house is relationship benefits. You can have ego conflicts in relationship, plus this another thing is, like 8th house is also your, yeah, sun is also your health. Okay, overall health. And 8th house, and especially in Ardra is the nakshatra of big chaos. Okay, lots of instability due to the mythological story. So take care of your health during this time period, because like, and safeguard yourself against accidents, sudden events and all. So that is also something to take care. What can we expect in Sun Mahadasha if Sun is placed in good dignity? It depends on where it is placed, which house it is placed. Like we have just seen the example, Sun is in the 8th house Gemini. Okay, so 8th house is the house of serving other people. Gemini is sign of business. So this Sun can go and give good results when it is in the person is working in the business setup. But if the person is trying to work in job setup, then issues can be there with authority figures, as 8th house is also house of instability. So it largely depends on the planetary position and dignity. Okay, good dignity can be anywhere, but what is that sign, that is also important. Now coming back to moon in Pisces in 5th house, Jupiter in 2nd house, moon Mahadasha, how it will be. Moon is in the 5th house Pisces, and it rules your 9th house. Okay, get into any knowledge sharing work. Okay, any kind of knowledge sharing work, because 9th house is the house of higher education, and 5th house is the house of education. Moon itself represents teaching, guiding, counseling. So any kind of knowledge sharing work, get into that, and this dasha will be excellent. Okay, but if you try to work in some sort of different setup, then things can be difficult. Also 5th house and 9th house, 5th house is 8th from the 10th. It is instability at job setup, and 9th house is loss of it is 12th from the 10th, so it is loss of 10th house. So in this case, like person should ideally be working for himself, not in the job setup, otherwise there can be lots of instabilities. So in just all the dashas, okay, understand the simple rule you need to follow whenever you are asking about the dasha, or whenever you want to know about the dasha. Look at the where the planet is placed, which house, which sign, which nakshatra. Get yourself involved into the activity related with that house, that sign, that nakshatra. Okay, and you will get the best of the result. Understand this analogy. This house is like a flower pot, sign is like the soil, nakshatra is like the fertilizer, and planet in that house, sign, nakshatra is like the plant. The stronger the flower pot, the better the soil, the better the fertilizer, better your plant will grow. Okay, so more you involve yourself into the activity of the house, sign and nakshatra, the better your planet will grow in its dasha. It is the simplest way of understanding a dasha. If you are not doing that, okay, now the troublesome part is that if we are not following that direction, then things can be difficult. then like you can be having issues, you can be having issues with other people and all, and those issues are again an indication that you are doing something wrong. Okay. Okay. Taurus ascendant, Mars in the second house, Jupiter Ketu in the third house, Moon in Mula Nakshatra, Saturn Rahu in the ninth house, then Sun in 11th house, Mercury Venus in 12th house. Personally, I am not getting interested to be in family setup. Resigned. Personally, I am not getting interested to be in family setup. Okay, fine. Resigned my corporate job before 1.5 years. After that, only researching and researching. Fine. About everything from culture, society, Ayurveda, especially occult stuff. Okay. Now I would like to go for a career, mainly to come inside the society. Okay. Do you think any career is fit for this person? Currently, Moon Rahu Dasha, and this from September 2021, Moon Jupiter Dasha, Venus Soul Significator, Sun Pathway Significator. Thank you. Okay, Taurus Ascendant, and in the 7th house, no, Saturn Rahu in the 9th house. Fine. Moon in Mula Nakshatra, that is in the 8th house. 9th house will be your higher education. Okay. Anything related with higher education, knowledge, guiding and counseling will suit you, because like your 10th lords, 10th house is the house of your career. Okay, career, authority and recognition. It has Aquarius sign there. Aquarius Lord Saturn Rahu are in the 9th house, so it is clearly showing that your career, authority and recognition are coming from the 9th house related activities. Now this Moon Rahu Dasha is going on, followed by Moon Jupiter. Moon is in the 8th house, Jupiter rules your 8th house. Okay. This Rahu is also in the 9th house. Okay. So it is largely about getting into your own business of knowledge sharing nature. If you are interested in occult side of life, you can be a occultist too. Means someone who is practicing occult and guiding people through that. Debilitated Jupiter in 11th house. I am Pisces ascendant. What is the question, sir? Then how to get best results of 6th, 8th, 6th, 8th and 12th house lords, whether it is debilitated or at retrograde. Thank you. It doesn't matter. As I said, you have to get yourself involved into the activities of the house and planet, wherever the planet is sitting. So even if it is a 6th lord, okay, best example, I am a Scorpio ascendant. 6th lord is Mars. Mars is sitting in the 3rd house, Capricorn. So I should get in myself involved into anything related with the self effort kind of thing. Even if Mars had been in 9th house, debilitated, okay, 9th house is higher education, knowledge, I should get involved myself into any work related with higher education and knowledge, teaching, guiding. Okay. So that is where we need to understand that 6th, 8th and 12th lords are going to bring some difficulty. We have to accept that, because their portfolio is of difficulty. There has to be some difficulty. Okay. But when it comes to like their results, they can still give better results or good results along with those difficulty. Person will face difficulty and he can still have better results, even if it is debilitated or retrograde, whatever. Okay, even if it is debilitated, like I said that if Mars is in the best example is like Helen Keller's chart. If you just see Helen Keller's chart, it is on the site, you can check. She was a Scorpio ascendant. Scorpio was first and sixth lord. Saturn was debilitated in the sixth house, and Mars was again debilitated in the ninth house. Okay, so what happened that her pathway, her life path is all about knowledge. She was all about knowledge, and but through achieving that success in knowledge, she has to bear lots of physical difficulties because of her illnesses and all. That is Saturn in the sixth house, Aries. So this is what is important, that Dushtana houses will bring their difficulties, but person can still gain good results if their lords are placed anywhere. I don't say if their lords are well placed. Even if they are not in good dignity, again it depends on the person. If he continues to put best of effort and show perseverance, he will get the good results. 4-planet yoga in 6th, 8th and 12th house give good results. As I said, anything can give good results and anything can give bad results. It depends on the person who is utilizing that energy. It largely depends upon the person. Even your exalted planets can give you difficulties. Okay, as I always quote the example of Mark David Chapman. That guy had 4 exalted planets, and he ended up in killing John Lennon. Okay, so it is not that if your planets are well placed and they are in good dignity, then success is guaranteed. Okay, you have to still work through it. So even four planets in these houses, 6th, 8th, I have seen many people with 4 or 5 planets in the 8th house. Osho has had 5 planets in the 8th house. I know at least 3 people, okay, who are my client, and who have 4 planets or 5 planets in the 8th house, and they are excellent in the occult field. Every house has good things associated with it, and every house has bad things associated with it. 9th house represents loss of authority figure. Okay, so if 9th house has 4 planets, that means person is not going to get any support from authority figure. So even the 9th house, which is considered as the most auspicious house, this also brings some difficulty. Good and bad are always part of the life. Understand, we have to understand this basic thing. Positivity and negativity both are part of the life. Okay, there is nothing like homeopathic medication which only give good results. It doesn't give any side effects. Okay, so in astrology at least there is nothing like that. Okay, so if you are looking for something good from some house, something bad will also come along with it. And if you have something bad attached with some house, something good will also come with it. Okay, so even 4 planets, 5 planets in these houses, 4 planets in the 12th house, person can have foreign settlement very early in life. For Leo ascendant, dasha of Rahu is running. Okay, Rahu is in the 5th house sitting with Jupiter. Great. Rahu is also aspected by Mars from the 2nd house. Please guide about Rahu dasha. Rahu is in Sagittarius. Now this is what I am trying to tell. Now Rahu is co-ruling your 7th house, Aquarius. Rahu is sitting in the 5th house, Sagittarius. Okay, what is 5th house? Education. What is Sagittarius? Higher education. I think it is in the Uttarashada nakshatra. So Uttarashada is the nakshatra of authorities. Okay, so this Rahu dasha will give this person best result if he is into any business where he's sharing his knowledge with other people, where he is guiding and counseling other people. That will give the best of authority and recognition. Rahu with Jupiter in the 5th house, Sagittarius. Okay, Rahu Jupiter together in the 5th house, Sagittarius, is like a person is born to like share his knowledge. Okay, so this is the thing which which is important. Now if this person is trying to work in job setup when 7th house is active, Rahu Dasha, 7th house is it is making 7th house active, and this person is trying to do a job setup work, the 10th house related thing, then he will suffer. Okay, and that suffering is another indication that you are doing something wrong. Okay, so this is what I feel is that we should always do something related with the dasha which is involved, and the planet placement and all, and we will get better results. Okay, facing problem in career. uh, just a second, where is your question? Debilitated Jupiter in the 11th house, Pisces ascendant. Pisces ascendant, again this is the same thing again coming. Pisces ascendant, Jupiter rules the first house, Jupiter rules the 10th house. Okay, first house is life path, 10th house is your career. Jupiter rules both of them, and then Jupiter is sitting debilitated in the 11th house of gains, plus it is the house of serving humanity and entrepreneurship. Now 10th house is your authority figures, right? So its lord is debilitated, that means not much support from the authority figures. Okay, that means again this person needs to get into his own business, then only he will get better results. Okay, so this is what I am trying to say, that 11th house is serving humanity, entrepreneurship, Jupiter is knowledge, education, and Capricorn is the sign of authority. Get into your own business, then you will have better time in your career. Otherwise this problem in career is again the same thing, that you are doing something wrong. Okay, and you are going on the wrong path. Your planets are telling you to go this side, and you are trying to go that side. So this is where the difficulty is. Okay, as I always say, like my own life, my own example is best, where I am in Jupiter dasha. Jupiter is in my 9th house. Okay, which is very much like a knowledge sharing dasha. I should be doing something related with knowledge sharing, and then I was trying to work in the job setup environment in corporate world. Okay, for first 4 years of Jupiter dasha. So for first 4 years it was frustrating because my 9th house dasha is active and I am doing something related with 10th house. So this is not working, right? I have to get myself involved into 9th house related activities, then I can expect better results. So this is the main thing with the charts and dashas and planetary positions, that we have to get ourselves involved into the activity related with the house or sign or nakshatra where the planet is sitting. Then we can expect best of the result. Otherwise, we will continue to have problems, and again those problems are an indication that we are doing something wrong. Online birth chart showing degree and ascendant even when there is no planet present there. Why is it so? Because ascendant also has a degree. Ascendant or first house is also like a 30-degree long sign. Okay, and when you take birth, ascendant can be at a particular degree. It cannot be uniform, that everyone is taking the birth at the same time when Sagittarius is ascendant or Capricorn is ascendant. Okay, so that's why everyone can have different degree of the ascendant. That's how ascendants move from one sign to another sign. Like if right now Sagittarius ascendant begins in India, then after 2 hours Capricorn ascendant will be on the horizon. So that means in these 2 hours Sagittarius would have to finish its 30 degrees and move further. Okay, that's where the degrees come into place in the ascendant. Planets exalt best in 10 degree, but we decide significators by highest degree. Does it mean that planet by highest degrees represent we have mastered the qualities of those planets in previous work? Again, I don't know much about previous birth. My main concern is this birth. Okay. First thing is that. Second is like uh, planets exalt best in 10 degrees. I'm not sure about it because every planet has exalts at a different degree. Like Sun exalts at 10 degree, Moon exalts at 3 degree, Jupiter exalts at 5 degree, Mars exalts at 27 degree, 28 degree, Venus exalts at 27 degree, uh, and then Mercury exalts at 25 degree, sorry 15 degree, and this Saturn exalts at 20 degree. Okay, so that part is not relevant. Then the significator kind of thing, like Atmakarka, Amatkarka. Why planet with the highest degree is your Atmakarka? Okay, understand. Always try to understand planets as persons, as individuals like you and I. Okay. So planet with the highest degrees are like grandfather or great grandfather in your family. Okay, they have all the wisdom, they have all the direction in life, but they don't have the physical ability, physical strength to work towards it. Okay, and your grandfather or great grandfather, they can guide you that okay, do this or don't do that in your life. They can guide you from their experience in life. Likewise, planets in the highest degrees are given the role of Atmakarka, Amatkarka, because that is the direction we need to go, that is the guidance we are getting from them. Planet in lower degrees are like a small child. It has lots of energy. Okay, a child of like 5 to 10 years of age, it has lots of energy, but it has no direction. Okay, that child is running around, jumping around and doing all the kinds of activity, but there is no direction where to divert that energy positively. So this is where the significations of all the important planets, all the planets become important, is that Atmakarka, Amatkarka give you the direction, and the planet with the lesser degrees make you work towards it. Okay, the direction is coming from the planets with the higher degrees. Planets with the lower degrees are putting the effort in that direction. Okay. Transit should be seen from moon or ascendant. Ascendant is your event, and moon is your mind. So if you are looking for the event, let's see it from the ascendant. If you are looking how your mind is going to react after the event, then look for from the moon. Like if you are looking for relationship, look from seventh house from ascendant. But if you are looking for how your mind is going to react after getting into relationship, look where that seventh house is from your moon. That will give you an indication. So this is how it works as I see. Yes, any further questions? New information got about planet exaltation. One more question, sir. uh, should we include ascendant with no planet when calculating significators? No, ascendant cannot be included as a significator. Significators are only planets. Okay, ascendant itself represents your life path, and ascendant lord's position shows the direction of life path. So it is on its own, it is providing the guidance. For Libra ascendant, 3 malefics, Mars, Saturn, Sun in the 7th house. Any suggestion for life path to be taken? 3 planets in the 7th house. Get into your own business. That's it. 7th house is business. 3 planets in the 7th house is that he is focused towards business. He should be focused towards business. Okay. But it will take long time because Saturn is there and Saturn is debilitated. So like person can be very fearful of starting his own business. What if it doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? Okay, so that is the thing. So person can be very fearful about it. He may realize it in his like 30s. From 30s onwards he may realize that okay, I should get into my own work. Before that even like mid 30s, after mid 30s, before that even if you push him or guide him as well as you can, person will be very fearful. If a astrologer tells Lagna Lord in the 6th with Mercury and Moon, yeah, the same thing. So maybe the financial nature of business, Mercury, Venus are together. I cannot say unless I see the chart. If an astrologer tells a person about negative event in life and the person try to avoid it, then will natural force will punish astrologer because he is interfering in nature task. How we can be so sure about what is the nature task? Okay. Let me explain it this way. Suppose someone came to me for some counseling, for some advice. Okay, I happen to see that there is a possibility of some accident in near future. It is my job to tell the person. Okay, first of all, it is my job. As an astrologer, I should tell the person that okay, in this time period, be careful while traveling. Just be careful about your surroundings and try to avoid in any situation where you can get into accidents or any sudden events and all that. This is my job as an astrologer. That is what I am paid for, right? If I am not doing that, then what for I am taking the fees from the person? Okay. And if the person works on that and he avoids that accident, then it is well and good for him. Okay, it is that means the knowledge has become helpful for the person. Now coming to the question that if I will be punished for that, if at all it happens, I am ready for that. Okay, if at all it happens that for doing something good I am getting punishment, I am fine with it. Understand one thing that I know this theory is running around in the among astrologers that you should not interfere in this or you should not interfere in that. First of all, you never know what is destiny. Okay, they say that okay, you should not interfere in someone's destiny. You never know what is someone's destiny. It could be someone's destiny that he is taking counseling from me and he's avoiding that accident. That avoiding of accident is also a part of destiny. How you can be so sure that only meeting with an accident is part of destiny? Not avoiding from the accident is part of destiny, right? So in a way, I actually helped him in reaching his destiny. I helped the person in avoiding an accident. That was his destiny. You never know what is destiny. 10 years ago, no one actually and no one ever told me that after looking my horoscope that I will become an astrologer. And 10 years from now onwards also, no one can tell me where I will be on 30th May 2031. So no one knows what is destiny. Destiny is only in the hindsight. Okay, today if people see my horoscope, or they will say, oh yeah, like Scorpio ascendant, Jupiter exalted, Mars exalted, you are bound to become an astrologer. But at that time no one said that. So we never know what is destiny. Destiny is only in the hindsight. And when we never know about the destiny, we should do our job. We should do our job with complete awareness. Okay. So if for me at least, if I am seeing something happening in someone's chart, I will advise the person. Okay, I cannot keep a person in dark. Okay, I hope this answers. Any further question? You're welcome. Understand the basic thing. There is okay, just a second. Okay, understand this basic thing, that there is a lot of thing going on in the name of like karmic debt and all that. Okay, understand this basic thing, how a karmic debt is incurred by someone. Okay, it is not incurred by doing or not doing anything. It is incurred by many person use astrology to make day-to-day profit, like share market. Is this right? Is astrology is meant for making money? They are at that level of evolution that and they are utilizing it. Okay, fine. If they can utilize it, then well and good for them. Okay, understand this basic thing, that the karmic debt and all, when a person incurs a karmic debt, okay, it person doesn't incur it because of doing or not doing anything, as long as you have this feeling that I am the doer. Ahankara. Okay, aham means I am, and kara means doer. I am the doer. I am doing this thing. I am doing this action. I am doing this FB live session. If I have this feeling, then I am incurring a karmic debt even right now, because even this is not my in my power. If God doesn't want this session to continue, internet will go right now and this session will end. Okay, so I am not the doer. Someone else is the doer. Someone else is running the show, as I always say. Okay, so as long as I am doing I am taking my actions with the knowledge that someone else is running the show, I am just a puppet. Okay, then whatever I do, it won't create any karmic debt upon me, whether it is good, whether it is not good. Okay, uh, yes, what happened? I am hopeless a bit. Can someone become millionaire in retrograde Venus Atmakaraka Dasha? I see lots of hope there. I don't see hopelessness. Can someone become millionaire in the retrograde Venus Atmakaraka Dasha? And is that Venus damaged if sits with Sun in the fourth house, so within 16 degrees in Libra, in D9 Venus and Mars in Taurus in the third house. Also Jupiter aspect that Venus from 8th house. Okay, so first of all, you are not hopeless, you are hoping to be a millionaire. Okay, millionaire with retrograde Venus Atmakarka. The Venus Dasha always brings the best of the results financially, but again, Venus is sitting in your fourth house, Libra. Libra is the sign of business, and is it at 16 degree? I think it would be in Pisces, Swati Nakshatra. So Swati is all about being independent. So if this person is working for himself in business setup environment from his home, private offices, then he can make the best of the Venus Dasha and best of the money. But if he is not working there, then average results. Okay. Please tell about planets representing chakra. I don't know. I have a book which gives this picture. I will try to post it. Okay. I will try to post it that page of the book. I will just see. I will try to post today or tomorrow what planets or what houses are related with this chakra and that chakra. Okay. I don't remember it right now. Thank you. Many persons use astrology to make day-to-day profit like share market. Is this right? Is astrology is meant to for making money? Why not? First of all, why we are so much against the money? Okay, this is also a wrong thing. Uh, we are in love with poverty in a way, right? If we are against money, uh, if uh, if someone can earn money through astrology, what is the wrong? And if someone is not doing anything wrong, anything illegal, share market business is very much legal business, and if someone can utilize it to get the money, okay, through the share, utilize astrology to get the money to from share market, at least I am fine with it. Okay, at least I am fine with it. uh, I would love everyone to be rich and prosperous. I won't be like money is wrong. Okay, uh, I am not into that sort of thinking. How to give strength to the Venus? You can only give strength to the planet by performing activities related with that planet. If Venus Dasha is going on, get into Venus related activities, then you will get the best of the result. This is the gist of this session today, right? Within 16 degrees of sun. So again, Vishaka, fourth house Libra is very much about home or private office based business. So get into your own business of home and from home or private offices, then you will get the best of the result. Vishaka is forked branches. It shows that a person can have different career at different times, but it also means that a person can have multiple businesses also. Okay, and branches going into different direction. Right. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna. Madam, Radha Madam, how are you? If Saturn is placed in the seventh house in Mool Trikon sign in a female chart, then should marriage be delay till Saturn return? Uh, Again, astrology and marriage has no connection with each other. So we can say relationship will be difficult even if this person gets into relationship in her 40s or 50s. Then also it will be like a stressful relationship. Saturn in the seventh house is like difficult. Okay. Money is Lakshmi and use it beautifully. Great, thank you. Okay, I think we are done. Let me know if there is any further question or we should close. If any planet is closest to the house cusp makes it stronger. Strength of a planet is largely dependent on the dignity of the planet. Okay, the own sign, exaltation, friendly sign, mool trikon sign. These are the dignities which decide whether the planet is in good strength. We cannot decide the strength of a planet based on the house cusp. Okay, I think it's over. Great. Okay, thank you. Let's join next week if God's willing. Till then, take care of yourself and enjoy your remaining Sunday.